What are some common misconceptions that people have about children with ADHD, and how can parents and educators kind of debunk these?
Thank you. And we could do a whole episode just
Okay.
on the misconceptions, but I'll
Hmm.
stick to three of them. One, that ADHD is only a childhood challenge.
Okay.
And the reality is that ADHD is often first recognized in childhood, but
Hmm.
adults have ADHD. And there are a lot of adults, especially around my age, in the 50s, who may have ADHD and may have never had it diagnosed,
Hmm.
but have some common challenges. So understanding that although it is often diagnosed in childhood, and first recognized in childhood, that it's a lifelong learning challenge. It's a lifelong difference in the brain.
Hmm.
So that
Hmm.
would be one. Two, that you have to have medication in order to address ADHD. For some
Hmm.
people, medication is helpful and needed, but even if you're using medication, you still usually need other supports, other lifestyle
Okay.
changes, um,
Hmm.
creating schedules. There are a lot of other lifestyle tweaks that need to be made that help medication be more effective. And
Right.
some people can manage ADHD without medication if
Hmm.
they have the right tools and
Okay.
put the right pieces in place together, they can manage without medication. But that's something that, sometimes people are afraid to find out more because they don't want to deal with the
Medication.
medication. And I guess the third thing, this one's kind of controversial, so everybody won't agree with me. I am a clinical psychologist, and as a psychologist, we are doctors, we are in the medical field, we've fought in many ways to be considered doctors. So everything psychologists do is considered a disorder. You have to have a disorder to
Mm.
right? That's how the medical world kind of works, that you have to have
Right.
in order to get treatment. So ADHD is considered attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Hmm.
But as we've learned more, we realize that there's all sorts of neurodiversity.
Hmm.
I'm dyslexic. I don't like to think of myself as having a disorder, and
Hmm.
nobody wants to think of themselves as having a disorder, right?
Right.
So I see my dyslexia as neurodiversity.
Hmm.
ADHD is also neurodiversity, and I think it helps us. I
Hmm.
understand why it has that label, but I think it helps us when we think more of it as neurodiversity and less as a disorder.
Okay.
Our children have disorders.
Hmm.
Children don't feel good about themselves when they consider themselves having disorders. So I've renamed ADHD as attention difference, hyperactivity, difficulty, because
Okay.
those D's soften it and really
Hmm.
make it much more approachable and acceptable. And this is how you're wired. If you have
Right.
ADHD, this is how you're wired. And
Hmm.
feeling like you have a disorder doesn't really help. Understanding that you do have a difference and you have to figure out ways to live with that difference. But when you
Hmm.
do, you can thrive. And ADHD also comes with often a lot of superpowers, things that people are very gifted at doing.
Hmm.
Everybody focuses so much on the challenges and not on the
Right.
gift that
Hmm.
people with ADHD often feel very bad about themselves. And so it's really
Hmm.
important, I think, for us to change the language and focus on the strong things, the superpowers. And you still have to address the challenges, but not
Hmm.
to spend so much energy just focusing on them because people don't feel great when they feel broken.
Right. Good point.